Each year, thousands of people die waiting for a kidney transplant. Now, there are people willing to sell a kidney because you could get along with just one, but to sell an organ is illegal. And John Stossel asks, why? In tonight's Give Me a Break.
On the auction site eBay, a human kidney was offered for sale.
It was big news a few years back when someone tried to sell a body part.
Bidding reached $5.7 million before the company put a stop to it.
Put a stop to it because selling a kidney is illegal. But should it be? Steve Rivkin doesn't think so. He spent years waiting for someone to donate a kidney to him while dialysis kept him alive. Dialysis means using machines to clean your blood because your kidneys can't. It saves lives, but it's painful, expensive, tedious. You have to plug into this machine 3 days a week, 5 hours at a time. Many dialysis patients desperately want kidney transplants that would get them off these machines. But so few people donate that few are available. 80,000 people are on the waiting list now, and more than 6,000 Americans die every year waiting for a transplant. That's 17 a day. 3 years ago, after previous transplants failed, Steve was back on the waiting list.
By that time, the list was up to 30,000 people.
His doctor said he might never get a kidney.
And I said, okay, I know what to do. I need to get a living donor.
And so he tried. This is the dirty little secret in the organ transplant world. Buying and selling organs may be illegal, but a look at some websites suggests that something like that is happening all the time.
I knew that if I carefully worded an ad and just let people know that I needed a kidney transplant, then there wouldn't be a discussion about money.
He posted this ad, and people called.
And some wanted to sell me their kidneys.
Responses came from all over the world.
Kidney for sale, blah, 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 blah.
Steve and his wife Elaine decided that even though it was illegal, they were willing to pay.
Under the circumstances, it's the right thing to do for Steve.
It's a fair exchange. You know, you're talking about two desperate people.
Some desperate for a kidney, others desperate for money.
There were some sad stories out there. One couple had gone bankrupt. He just was looking for a way to pay everything off, start over fresh, and move on.
These exchanges are made in other countries. These men from the Philippines gave up one of their kidneys for $1,000. Not a choice you might make, but no one forced them. They're poor. This is where they live. They wanted the $1,000 more than they wanted 2 kidneys.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with paying money for a kidney transplant. I think it's a wonderful thing, and I think more people should try to do it.
This is not a wonderful thing. This is a dangerous precedent.
Dr. Brian Pereira heads the National Kidney Foundation and says there must be no trade in body parts.
No barter, no sale of organs. That's where we have to step in.
Who's we?
The government, the professional societies who help the government make the right policies.
I just want a kidney that works.
I empathize with this patient's need for a kidney that works. The good news is that this person can continue on dialysis under the current system, which functions extremely well under...
What, 17 deaths a day is extremely well?
17 deaths a day is a statistic that we need to understand in the light of what could happen on the downside.
Poor people will be exploited, he says, and it's just immoral to sell body parts.
Organ donation is purely an issue of altruism.
But altruism isn't working.
The fact that the current situation is desperate doesn't justify an unwise policy decision.
Would you like to participate in our organ donor program?
Sure.
Good morning.
Motor vehicle departments offer license applicants a chance to volunteer their organs after they die. And some people, like this woman in Chicago, agree to it.
Want to be an organ donor?
Yes, please.
To be an organ donor?
I already am.
But most people don't volunteer.
No, this time.
It's a reason some medical organizations that used to object now say we ought to at least consider paying small amounts to increase organ donation after people die. The money could help families pay funeral costs. But would a few $100s change people's minds?
Yeah, I probably would be more likely.
That sounds great.
Lots of people said it might.
If it can help my children, maybe I might.
even if their family would be paid as little as $25.
$25, sure, I said yes, without a doubt.
If you change your mind.
Some were opposed to any payment.
If you don't want to do it for free, I don't think you should do it. I don't know. I don't think it's appropriate.
And that's the reason it's against the law. Dr. Pereira says bringing in money would exploit everyone.
They miss the pleasure or the gratification of having made this decision purely out of altruism.
But shouldn't that be their choice?
There are some issues in life that we cannot completely leave to the choice of the family who has to make a decision.
Why not? Why not?
Steve finally did get another kidney, and he didn't pay for it.
I said, I'll get tested.
Rebecca, a woman who was boarding with Steve and his wife, volunteered her kidney.
She said she wanted to do it because it was the right thing to do.
So no money changed hands.
I know Steve and Elaine are very generous people, and I know that I will benefit greatly from this.
And watch out for the crabgrass.
Rebecca went to live with the Rivkins, and they've talked about taking her to Paris.
She's my angel. She's come in at the right time to help us.
Right, I know.
You're officially a healthy man.
The operation was a success. Steve left the hospital with Rebecca's kidney functioning well inside his body. Rebecca's doing well, too.
Look at this. Yes.
Good for Steve. But why can't other people buy and sell what he got? After all, says Steve, everyone else makes money from transplants.
Bonsoir.
The doctors make money, the hospitals make money, the organ procurement organizations make money. Everybody gets something except for the donor.
Good point. If you find selling an organ immoral, fine. You don't have to do it. But should all sick people be denied transplants because some of you believe selling organs is bad? Give me a break.